The ideas behind MMV philosophy did not emerge from academic theory alone. This isn't theory pulled from a textbook. They grew from a lifetime of observing the mind under real conditions. Imagine a baby entering the world, the body already experiencing pain, a broken collarbone from birth that went unnoticed and eventually healed on its own. Life began with trauma before language, before memory, before understanding. Yet within that tiny being there was something unusual, a quiet steadiness. Almost a monk-like calmness that seemed to exist despite the physical struggle, as if the mind had learned early how to sit still inside difficulty. By the age of 5, arthritis had appeared in every joint, a consequence of that difficult beginning. Pain became part of everyday experience during childhood, something many children are not asked to navigate so early in life. But hidden inside that adversity was an unexpected gift. Living with physical challenge required patience. It required learning how the mind reacts to discomfort, frustration, limitation, and uncertainty. Over time, that necessity slowly turned into curiosity. Why does the mind react the way it does? How do thoughts influence the way we experience pain, stress, and challenge? That curiosity became a long personal study of psychology, the philosophy, and self-awareness. Beginning at the age of 23 and continuing for more than 2 decades, this exploration focused on understanding how thoughts, habits, subconscious patterns, and environment shape human experience. The fascination was always centered on the mind itself, the big picture, particularly the deeper processes of the subconscious and the ancient philosophical idea that consciousness plays a fundamental role in shaping our reality. Mindfulness is awareness of one's internal world, thoughts, emotions, attention. Motion is the way awareness expresses itself through choices, habits, and direction in life. Vibration represents the internal atmosphere created by thoughts, influences, environments, and subconscious conditioning. When these elements align, clarity begins to replace noise. The philosophy behind Mind My Vibe grew from that realization, that awareness, action, and environment are constantly shaping one another. What began as a personal effort to understand pain and resilience gradually became a system for observing the mind more clearly. Through years of reflection, observation, and applying these ideas to everyday life, a simple framework began to take shape. Mindfulness, motion, vibration. This framework eventually became the MMV way. When these elements align, clarity begins to replace noise. The philosophy behind Mind My Vibe grew from that realization that awareness, action, and environment are constantly shaping one another. What began as a personal effort to understand pain and resilience gradually became a system for observing the mind more clearly. At its core, Mind My Vibe is not about perfection or rigid ideology. It is about learning how to notice the patterns of the mind, understand their influence, and gradually shape a life that feels more conscious, aligned, intentional, with full awareness. A philosophy built through practice. MMV philosophy is not presented as a clinical psychological model or an academic doctrine. Instead, it is a practical framework for self-observation and personal development. The ideas are shared through reflections, tools, and exercises designed to help people better understand their own thinking patterns, habits, and internal environment. It's a MMV philosophy.